You know, on this show, I like to look at the obscure and the underrated games. But every now and again, it's nice to look at a classic game. So, let's do just that. Let's see. How about this one? Whoa! No. Not that one. Let's go down a shelf. Super Mario 64. Just out of curiosity, how many of you guys like this game? I like Super Mario 64.
I like Super Mario 64.
I love Super Mario 64.
Do you like Super Mario 64?
Yes.
I love Super Mario 64. Like what they're doing at the time.
Mario 64! It's amazing! Woohoo!
What's up, everybody? I'm Drew from Gaming with Drew, and I love Super Mario 64.
I like Super Mario 64.
You like Super Mario 64, right?
I love the Super Mario 64.
You like Super Mario 64, right?
I like Super Mario 64.
Do you like Super Mario 64?
I've never played it.
Well, then it's settled. The game we're gonna review is Super Mario 64. But Josh, everyone has reviewed Super Mario 64. That's true. What can I say about this game that hasn't already been said? We have to do something different. How about, instead of just reviewing this game, let's go over the history of it and the legacy it has to this day. And I'm gonna need your help. I believe in Mario. I believe in Mario. I believe in Mario. I believe. While I talk about the history, I'm gonna show you guys this awesome beta footage of the game. The development of Super Mario 64 took less than 2 years, but the idea of a 3D Mario game was reportedly discussed over 5 years before, while working on Star Fox. Shigeru Miyamoto, the god of gaming that he is, developed most of the concepts during the era of the Super Nintendo and considered using the Super FX chip to make it an SNES game, but decided to develop it for the Nintendo 64, not due to the former system's technical limitations, but because the Nintendo 64 controller had more buttons. The game's development began with the creation of the characters and camera system. The original concept involved the game having a fixed path similar to Super Mario RPG, but was later changed to a free-roaming 3D design. The developers initially tried to make the game split-screen co-op, using both Mario and Luigi. No footage of this exists, but the two characters would start at separate points in the castle and work their way through the game together. However, developers were unable to make the gameplay work, and thus Luigi is not in the game, despite the many rumors you'll find online claiming he is. One thing I wanted to point out in this beta footage is this line.
Terrible jumps that you had to overcome. The size of the game may be up to 150 stages, and from what we've played of them already, it looks as if it's going to be extremely playable, with lots of hidden features as you progress, so I don't have any doubts it'll be a great game.
Miyamoto originally thought he would create 32 to 40 courses, not including the bonus levels. The actual number turned out to be much lower in the final game though, as only 15 courses could fit, excluding Bowser and the secret levels. Even though his prediction didn't come true, that doesn't make Miyamoto any less of a god. One thing I wanted to point out was not only Mario's high-pitched voice, and just how different the castle's look and layout are overall, along with the player hub, which has different icons for the health, the stars, the coins, and Mario's lives. Now, what did these people playing the beta of Super Mario 64 think of it at the time?
This is not a rendered graphics demo. It's what you get when you play the game. The images are detailed, smooth, and easily superior to anything currently available.
Well, this is an unexpected addition to our chart because Mario 64 isn't even out yet, but already it is being heralded as a game that could reshape the way the industry thinks.
Super Mario 64 was released in the US on September 26, 1996, as a launch title for the Nintendo 64, and was met with immediate success. At the time, the lowest score it received was a 9.4 out of 10. Much like how the original Super Mario Bros. Revolutionized 2D side-scrolling platformers, Super Mario 64 revolutionized 3D gaming by using a free camera that could be controlled, and has changed the way we play games. It's been 17 years since Super Mario 64 was first released. So, after so much time, what kind of legacy has this game gone on to have? It has won many awards, including Game of the Year for 1996, and has been placed on lists of the greatest games of all time. By May of 2003, the game had already sold 11 million copies. It was ported to the Wii's Virtual Console, and in 2004, it was re-released for the Nintendo DS with all new characters to play as, some new levels, and updated graphics. Fun fact, Super Mario 64 DS was the first DS game I ever played. More like a useless fact. So, with a game this popular, it's no surprise that so many people have continued to keep the game alive. Speedrunners have tried to see how fast the game could be finished, and in the process, have found some crazy glitches like these. How do people find this stuff? I don't know. Too much time on their hands? Extreme dedication? Or maybe they're just crazier than us. Yeah, and it takes a lot to be crazier than you. Think about it. You're the guy talking to a People have covered songs from the game in a wide range of genres, from rock to even a cappella. Many game developers cite Super Mario 64 as an inspiration, including Rockstar Games' Dan Houser, saying, "Anyone who makes 3D games who says they've not borrowed something from Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time is lying." A recent study using Super Mario 64 as an example found that gaming causes increases in the brain regions responsible for spatial orientation, memory formation, strategic planning, as well as fine motor skills. So what's the lesson here, kids? Ignore your friends, ignore your family, don't go on dates, don't go to parties, just sit at home and play video games. But the greatest thing to come from fans is the creation of the Green Demon Challenge. The what? You've never heard of it? No. Well, thankfully, our buddy Tom can give us an explanation. Take it away, you beautiful Iron Man.
Hi, this is J1 Tom the Iron Man, and the Green Demon Challenge is a self-made event within Super Mario 64 in which you go ahead, and it only exists in 4 levels, in which you go ahead and find the 1-up mushroom. And then you try to go ahead and collect all 8 coins before it catches up to you. Now it sounds easy, but it's not, because the thing follows you faster than you can run, and it can clip through solid objects. So if you actually can pull that off, that's what makes you the better player.
Many people have tried to beat this challenge, and they just fail over and over and over.
What are you doing?
What the? What happened? Okay, that was. Hang out.
But sometimes
No, it's right there.
there's one rare specimen of gamer that can reach success.
Nick got it.
Beautiful.
Nice job. All right.
So, as we've seen today, not only was Super Mario 64 a huge success when first released, but it has gone on to being seen as one of, if not the, most important games ever made. And obviously everyone likes it, so I guess we ought to bring this review to a close. Wait. What was that? Whatever. Anyway, I'm David? What do you want?
I don't like Super Mario 64.
You don't?
I do not like Super Mario 64.
How can you not like Super Mario 64? What's not to like? Josh, as much as I love this game, I will admit it does have some problems.
Controlling the camera was probably my biggest issue. I mean, I don't know if I was doing something wrong, or, you know, I'd like to think that I could push buttons pretty well, and the buttons should do what I want them to do. But every time I would adjust the camera and I would move, then the camera would automatically move too into an absurd angle. And that was pretty much the worst enemy in the game, was the camera.
Even when it was first released, this was something that critics had a problem with. Another problem is the controls. So many times I was trying to go for a long jump, but instead I'd do a ground pound. Thankfully, a lot of these problems were addressed in the DS version. So, with all the major flaws this game has, why do so many people still love it?
I love Super Mario 64. I love it. As far as to why, let me count the ways.
Super Mario 64 is like the best Super Metroid game I ever played.
I love Mario 64 because without this game, we wouldn't have Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. Plus, the beginning of Super Mario 64 has that awesome feature where you get to pull and pull and pull on this guy's nose. Awesome!
Amazing platformer, brilliant, cutting-edge gameplay at the time, beautiful graphics. Truly a revolutionary video game for our generation, for our time, setting the stage for greatness like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, brilliant artistic game, no doubt.
Super Mario 64 is probably one of the best Nintendo 64 games on the planet. When I was super little, I played a lot of like NES and Super Nintendo, but when I became old enough to actually like be good at video games, Mario 64 came out. My dad bought the Nintendo 64 right when it came out, and I was hooked on video games forever. I love it.
Mario 64. I probably love this game for the same reasons most people did. It was pure magic when it released. Just being able to play Mario, but in these big, rich 3D worlds, just totally different from anything that you'd ever done. And there's so much depth and personality to everything that was there. The music just yanked you in. Just this sense of wonderment that I had. I mean, I was young when it came out. I was about 9 years old. I saw it at a Best Buy. And I loved it mostly just by how much freedom I had to goof around. Running around the hallways playing with the bunny, or going into like Lethal Lava Land and seeing how long I could survive on one of those little shells, just doing tricks off of all the little ramps. Oh man, I probably spent more time in that game goofing off than I did playing the actual game. I'm gonna go play it right now.
Because it's awesome. Super Mario 64 is one of the best games of all time. If you haven't played it, what's wrong with you, man? It's the best.
I'm here for to talk about the Mario N64. And what can I tell you about the game other than that it's freaking amazing? Let's see, what did I like about Mario? Instead of on screen you select a stage, you can go into a castle, jump into a picture, and there's your stage. And I thought that was amazing. It's like super awesome. And you know, it's when I was a kid, I believed that almost anything could happen in video games, and pictures around my house are small, and here we go!
Why do I like this game so much? Well, one great point of why I like it is the music. I love the music in this game, how it goes for each world that you go to. You know, just the music mesmerizes me. I'm a sucker for good music in games. I am very music inclined child. Teenager. How about that?
It was a great open world 3D game, had a lot of positive qualities to it. Landmark game of its time, still probably, I mean, it's the game they built the architecture of the N64 around. First true analog play. It was it's just a classic overall.
I still remember the day I bought Super Mario 64. It was the first Mario game I had ever played, and boy was it quite the introduction. I loved all the levels, I loved just the environments. I especially love the boss battles because Joshua loves boss battles. But even after I had completed it, I still just kept going back and playing the levels just because they were so much fun. When I was a kid, I didn't care about things like the camera or doing the buttons wrong because to me, that was just part of the game. I didn't see it as a problem. I just saw it as how the game worked. And I loved Super Mario 64 so much that it made me want to learn more about the Super Mario games. And so, because of that, I learned about Super Mario World and the original Mario Brothers trilogy. And because of that, I went out and bought a Super Nintendo and an NES. So, I guess you could say Super Mario 64 is the reason why I'm a retro gamer. And because of that, this show exists. Wow. So, that's why I love Super Mario 64. It's part of the reason I'm who I am today. You know, Josh, a game, especially one that's a decade old, won't always hold up flawlessly. Heck, some games can't even last 2 or 3 years. Yeah. So, how should we thank David for pointing out the problems with this game? JG Review style, of course. I want to thank everyone who helped make this video possible by sharing memories and showing the legacy of this game. Super Mario 64 was a groundbreaking title, not just for Nintendo, but gaming overall. Even though it isn't flawless, it'll always be one of the most important games ever made. It doesn't need time in the spotlight, because it already has it. Now, next time, we're going to be looking at a game that I feel isn't as bad as everyone says it is. Coming from Nintendo's competitor during that generation, kind of, the Sega Saturn. So we're going to be returning to where this show originally started. But until then, I'm Joshua Gillespie. And I'm Sid. And we'll see you all next time on JG Reviews.